GM and welcome back to the channel. Now in this one we have an update on Kujira plus the brand new NFT collection yet to mint, so do stay tuned for this one. Plucky Penguins, built out by your boy KP, looks pretty dope. Going to explain this, and then we've also got quite a bit of Kuji based updates. I need to get some of the bull posting out my system, so sit back, enjoy, subscribe if you're new here, and let's get started. So the Plucky Penguins are coming. Noot Noot, if you've seen that on socials, that is what it's all about. Pretty much the sound that Pingu makes. And these are going to be a collection of 1,000 NFTs based on Kujira. So let's jump into the Medium article and find out what this is all about. So here goes the story, the lore, what is happening here. So the year is 2069. Global warming experts were wrong and it's actually got colder. Humans can no longer survive, especially the Brits, and one species has survived, the Plucky Penguins. Now a hierarchical society has been established based on the beliefs of the prophet, Peter Schiff, with gold as the central currency. Over the last few decades, a bloody war has been fought between the other remaining factions for ownership of the gold. And these are Kujira-based collections and projects, the Shrimps NFTs, Manta DAO, and the whales from the Kujirans NFT collection. So 4 factions fighting here. Gold is a precious commodity and the conflict is intense. How will you continue the battle? Will you build alliances or massacre the comp? So each week, this is what's happening. The outcome of polls and competitions on social media between the collections will dictate the story's progression, and the story will be published every week on Medium and on Twitter. Your choices and activity within the Kujira ecosystem will have direct consequences within the fictional world. As an example here, it says the NFT collections whose members have the highest cumulative 7-day volume on Manta Swap. Go check out Manta Swap from Manta DAO if you haven't used it yourself. They will receive a potential buff for a battle or have a more successful scouting mission. More details to come. So what we can see from this is that there's going to be these battles taking place within the Kujira ecosystem utilizing various DeFi applications, and this is going to be the merging of DeFi and NFTs. So a nice crossover there of NFT and DeFi. This is obviously a very interesting thing because typically NFT collections, you're able to actually forge a really good community with them, but they often do lack a bit of utility and kind of real use cases and things to do. But if you actually have them therefore going off, obviously your wallet with your NFT in it would be connected to your faction, and then you're directed to go and increase volume over on this particular swapping protocol. Well, you can see how that is very beneficial for the DeFi landscape on Kujira. So super excited to see how this does kick off. Now in terms of the collection there, as mentioned, just 1,000 NFTs, and we've already seen how crazy people are in the Kujira ecosystem, so I expect 1,000 NFTs is not enough and these will go up in value. I will actually be buying some of these irrelevant of whether I get whitelist or not. If you want to try and get whitelisted, etc., do ensure you're following them here on socials. Join the Telegram as well, just to stay up to date. There's a lot of people doing competitions as well to get involved with. But we have the likes of hippie penguins, we have Terminator penguins, zombie penguins, and even rock stars down here. Some of them have gold on them, and if they do have gold, there's just 100 of those out of 1,000, so only 100 gold variants. These are the more scarce NFTs in the collection, and the rarity of the NFT is important for the weekly cornucopia, where the spoils of the battle are shared between the fighters. So this is where the utility comes into play down here, the weekly cornucopia. Essentially what they're going to be doing is taking the raise from this NFT mint and essentially generating around 45K's worth of USD value. So the NFT is going to be priced at $50. 50K will be raised, less 5,000, which is the fee for Stargaze. 45K comes in, and 45K will come from Kujira's team's operational budget as well. So essentially 90K in protocol owned liquidity there deposited onto Bo on the pairs Wrapped BTC to Kuji and Wrapped ETH to Kuji. Those LP positions will then of course be earning yield, and the yield will then be distributed to 5 NFT holders via a lottery each and every week in the weekly cornucopia. It states each NFT is worth 1 lottery ticket, but the gold have 3 entries, hence they're going to be more valuable, and the APR estimated to be around $150 to $300 being distributed to the 5 NFT holders on a weekly basis. Hence you're likely to be able to get your NFT mint cost back with a win. It further goes on and explains how they're unifying these existing NFT collections to the brand new one, allowing them all to compete and drive value on the Kujira chain. So this is going to be super interesting to see how this works as a community building exercise as well. There's already high engagement from Kujira, so I expect this goes down an absolute storm, and the mint will be available in USK. As they say, it looks like we'll be able to mint in a special decentralized stablecoin. So moving on from the Plucky Penguins, other updates here. So over on Telegram, this one was screen captured here. Also points this one out. This is absolutely insane. You probably don't know how big this is going to be. Team Kujira delivering fast and effectively. This is because CodeHands has replied to someone saying, when are perps coming on Kujira? And we're probably only a couple of weeks away from testnet there. So of course, this is not a mainnet deployment in say a couple weeks time from now, maybe towards the end of October, but testnet, what follows testnet? Obviously mainnet at some point, but this answers some of the questions around when perps, and this could obviously be a huge volume driver and value driver as well, as typically you can generate large fees off of perps contracts. So that really padding out the Kujira ecosystem. We already have borrow lend, amazing abilities to LP, a great DEX, and the ability to bid on liquidations. What more could we want? Of course, people want perps. So that is coming. So this is going to be huge when it comes out. And of course, we'll spin that flywheel and generate even more fees for the Kuji stakers. Now to touch on community yet again, dead right dove with this post. One thing I feel is underrated is that the fact when people buy Kuji, they actually get right into the Kujira ecosystem. And instead of paying for unlimited listings where people just buy and hope for the best, we get real users that explore and stay in the eco. We love you all. Now, essentially, if you just jump into the Telegram of Kujira throughout the whole of the bear market, the vibes have been impeccable, unlike most other chats I've been into. So a generally great community vibe, very welcoming individuals. If you have questions, they always get answered. And we've got all the documentation to back shit up. I mean, I've produced a load of videos on all the various inner workings of the Kujira ecosystem. If you want to know how to function on Fin, Bo, Orca, etc., jump into my channel. There's a video there to explain on a guide basis how things work. And even if you have silly questions and you want to ask them in the Telegram, people do get back to you. Now, this was a stark one to actually look at. So this goes back to July of 2022 here. So July 2022, the TVL of DeFi broadly is around 50 to 60 bill. We obviously have some movements down here in the bear market. FTX here, it collapses down to high 30s, a bit of recovery in 2023, but down, 36 billion odd right about now for TVL in DeFi broadly. So of course, the trajectory on that is going downwards. But if we look at the TVL of Kujira, which is over the exact same time span there, it is going up and to the right. So July of 2022, around 650K of TVL. We breach a million here, up to 3 mil by mid-September, keeps going down and sideways as we go through November and that FTX lull. Then going into 2023, we've got more products hitting the shelf. We're not just Orca, we're looking at Fin, we're looking at Ghost, we're looking at Bo, and the TVL really starts to ramp up. We actually peaked out here somewhere around 9 mil in Feb of 2023, a bit of a stagnant period then, and then up only once again. Manta DAO doing their best to increase protocol owned liquidity, add heaps of TVL to this ecosystem, and you can see by August we were at 18 mil, pullback 15 mil by the end of August. Then over the last 6 weeks, we've gone from 18 mil TVL to over $28 million in TVL, standing at exactly 29.43 mil right about now. Stark contrast, TVL of DeFi down only, Kujira TVL up only. So what happened to price during this time? Current price 79 cents, 92 mil market cap. We look at that same period on the chart here. Since the rebirth of Kuji, so this goes back to July of 22, we have the launch, a few shaky days there as people are unsure if Kujira is alive, dead, or what the heck's happening, but it is very much alive. We have the FOMO back into the token, sending it up to 175, and then we can see a general down sloping price action here, and we come and inevitably revisit the 40 cents area. So 40 cents is bottom 1, 2, triple bottom here, March of 2023, the last time to buy at 40 cents, and then it has been pretty much off to the races. We've tested these levels here at around $1. Obviously a bit of confluence there. Come back down, we got a low of around 68 cents in here. And then of course, through August in the summer, we did test $1 again, came back down more recently. 60 cents has been tested, seems to be a bit of a floor on the price of Kuji at this moment in time. And now we've started to get some more recognition again, back up to 80 cents, but still a long ways to go for the price action to catch up with that TVL growth. And why does TVL matter? Because all the TVL on the Kujira chain is essentially being directed towards the Kuji token via staking rewards. The more activity on the chain, the more fees to stakers. Eventually this flywheel really starts to pick up and people will be getting paid hand over fist. That's why TVL is not a meme on this chain. Now, if we just look at the various chains in crypto right now, of course, Ethereum number 1, Tron number 2, bit suspect there. Billions of dollars of money laundering potentially going on. BSC in 3, probably the same kind of outcome. Arbitrum 4, Polygon 5, Optimism 6, all big cap tokens, multiple billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars for some of those in fully diluted valuations. Let's just run through the list here. So Kujira chain is now number 39. Over the last month, so this column is over the last month, TVL is up 81%. Most other tokens are pretty much flat. Sui is the only other outstanding performer in this, but a lot of flat and down. Kanto's up 30%, 13% positive for Thorchain, but Ronin down 10, Osmosis down 18, Multiverse down 5, Clayton down 10, etc., etc. Kind of the same story there. A lot of things flat, down, and a few outperformers, and Kujira is a big outperformer here with 10 protocols only built on top of it as per DeFi Llama. So as this does push up through the rankings, I mean, quite a few of these not too far ahead of our sights. If we get to 40 mil TVL, you're pretty much in towards the top 30s there. It will drive more and more eyeballs and bigger names to be looking at Kujira a lot more seriously. So at 39, still a little bit under the radar, a bit of hype online, the kind of if you know, you know, but this is going to have a huge bull market, mark my words. Over to Orca. So this is the Dapp I usually pay most attention to because I like to set my bids on Orca and wait for potential liquidations to occur. I mean, it's pretty fun playing the role of the bailiff just by clicking a few buttons. You haven't paid, you haven't topped up your collateral, you're getting liquidated. I'm there to pick up the tiers. Now, as you can see, this is on the wrapped ETH to USK market here, and there's actually quite a big potential liquidation to occur if we go into the analytics, and people aren't really bidding to like 9% discount here. So I'm going to front run this after this video. And on the right hand side there that I've just highlighted, $35,000 worth of ETH at a risk ratio of 97%. So if there is a bit of a downturn, a further drop in the markets here, that ETH is very much going to be at risk. So very much interested in continuing to bid on Orca and potentially pick up some heavily discounted wrapped Ethereum there. Over to some stats for the nerds out there as well. So we've got the Kuji price on the left hand side, slowly but surely making its way up here throughout the month of September and October. Fin total volume is also increasing. That is the kind of moving average on the chart here. It is going up as you're seeing declining volume on all centralized exchanges. We have our DEX Fin doing some decent numbers here. Come down, staked Kuji after a bit of a down cycle here is starting to tick back up once again. Now roughly 60 million tokens are staked. Somewhere in the region of 1.5 mil USK have been minted. And if we just go down here, the number of wallets is now up to 83,000. There's some bot action in here, but there is some genuine growth in this as well. So the number of wallets continue to go up and the Kuji gang continues to increase on a daily basis. Now, last thing of interest here from Slice Tank, he says this swap previously would have had like a 50% slippage a few months back, but now it's negligible. Team Kujira are tightening the screws, increasing TVL and building a heck of a DeFi product suite. So this is pointing out AMP Kuji, which is essentially like a liquid staking version of Kuji in a way, takes all the kind of dust rewards and then harvests them into Kuji itself. But swapping quite a big ticket there, 50,000 AMP Kuji into Kuji, the price impact he's pointing out with the red arrow there is just 0.41%. Now, generally in this ecosystem, liquidity seems to be getting more and more concentrated, meaning less price impacts, less slippage, and this obviously makes it more whale friendly. So long may this continue because this can entice bigger accounts to get involved here and really start to ratchet these numbers up. So drop me a comment down below. Plucky Penguins, are you going to try and mint these bad boys? Yes or no? Drop me a Noot Noot in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.